Hi, this is Richa from Coach Viva. Today we're going to talk about 4 quick and easy meal templates that you can use to make progress towards your goals without getting bored. So why is this different than all of the cooking videos out there on YouTube? Well, because I'm giving you meal templates. What this means is you can plug and play whatever foods you want into these templates and get a variety of different recipes out of them. This means you're not getting bored. They are quick. They range from 5 minutes to at most an hour, and you're not spending an hour actually looking at the food. You're basically putting it to cook and you're going away and then you're coming back and they're done. So active time is about 5 to 10 minutes for each of these recipes. And lastly, they all use 5 ingredients or less. So you're not spending a whole bunch of time grocery shopping or cooking. They are extremely quick and easy, and you won't be getting bored. 4 meal templates that I'm going to give you are going to be aligned around the 4 main meals that most of us have during the day: breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. But there's no reason why you can't, for example, use the breakfast meal template for the snack one, or for lunch, or for dinner. You can move these around as you wish. I'm just aligning them because breakfast usually looks a little different than lunch for most people, right? You have different foods, but there's no reason you can swap them around. So the first meal template we're going to talk about is around breakfast. For those of you who do not have breakfast, that's totally fine. You don't have to have breakfast. That's not what I'm saying. You can use this meal template for one of the other meals. But for those of us who do have breakfast, the kind of breakfast that you want to have should be highly satiating, so it lasts you 3 to 4 hours. And the reason for this is so that it prevents snacking in between. And also, by the time you get to lunch, you don't want to be so hungry that you're making decisions that you normally wouldn't want to make. A big component of a highly satiating breakfast is having enough protein in it. But you want to have enough protein, but you don't want to take up all of the calories for your day in breakfast alone, which is one of the issues that we have seen with our clients that we coach here at Coach Viva. So Lucy is going to talk us through a protein shake. And now some of you might be like, oh, protein powders taste awful. Well, not if you do it using Lucy's base template. It has the perfect mixture of volume to taste, as well as a high protein to calorie ratio, so that you have the perfect satiating, tasty breakfast. So Lucy, take it away.
So this recipe requires just 3 ingredients and 2 tools: a blender and a 1 cup measuring cup. So the first ingredient is milk of any kind. You can use dairy milk or you can use nut milk. If you want to go low calorie, use almond milk, or even water is fine. The second ingredient is some sort of berries or fruit. So you can use cherries, as I do in this example, or you can use blueberries or strawberries. I found that the cherries and berries tend to make the shake a lot thicker because they have components that really help thicken the shake. And the third ingredient is protein powder. In this case, you can use any kind of protein powder: whey, casein, pea and rice protein. And then after you put all the ingredients together, blend them for about 30 seconds, and you'll get this really smooth consistency. If you want a larger volume, add a handful of ice cubes as well. Yummy!
All right, so moving on to the second meal template, which is based around lunch. The kind of lunch that you want to have should have about 50% of your plate with vegetables, 30% with protein, and the rest with grains. And if you can pack a fruit with it, amazing. So what Lucy is going to show us is a bulk cooking recipe that she does. It is a base recipe. You don't have to follow it exactly. She's going to talk over how to start with the base recipe and then tweak it as per your preferences. But what she does is she basically bulk cooks vegetables, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes of active cooking time, 1 hour of total cooking time. She also has protein in it, so that is also similar cooking time. And she makes enough rice for the week. And then all she has to do for lunch, dinner, whenever she's having this, is throw onto her plate all of the 3 things in exactly the right proportion, and she's good to go.
So what I like to do is prepare my proteins and my vegetables ahead of time. I just chop them ahead of time. In this case, for my protein, I chose tempeh, but you can use anything you want, including tofu, lean meats, fish, whatever it is that you want. I also chop up my vegetables beforehand. As you can see, I have a lot of variety: cauliflower, mushrooms, and I also mix my spices beforehand. So this particular recipe calls for a lot of different kinds of spices, and I will list them out in the description below. But what I like to do is just mix them all together and then put them in one container so that I can just use it on demand. Here is a simple stir fry method that I use. Heat up some oil on a pan set to medium to high temperature. And then I sprinkle some of the pre-mixed spices that I made from before, and I just stir it a little bit to release some of the aromas, just like a minute or so, not too long. And then afterwards, I will start by adding my protein. So I'll add my protein, I'll stir it for like 5 minutes or so, and then I just add a splash of water to add some moisture to it. I stir it for, just a little bit more, and then what will happen is I will just put the lid on and put the power setting put the heat onto low, and then just let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so. So I do the same thing with vegetables. I heat up the pot first with all the spices on medium-high heat, and then I add the vegetables into the pot. Add a splash of water. Stir it some more to distribute all the spices, and then put a lid on and then let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. So this makes a huge pot of vegetables and protein. I just put it all in one big Tupperware and put it in the fridge. And so when I'm ready for lunch, I can just grab it out of the fridge. And as you can see, I also have some rice that I pre-cooked beforehand. I just scoop them onto a plate and then I'm good to go and I have my balanced meal for a day. Another great way to bulk cook vegetables is to simply oven roast them. You can start by lining your pan with cooking spray or oil, or if you don't want to have the extra calories from oil, you can simply line your pan with aluminum foil or any sort of other padding and place your vegetables on there. This also makes for easier cleanup afterwards. Line your vegetables on there and then feel free to sprinkle any sort of spices that you want over them. And then you simply place it in an oven preheated at 400 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes.
All right, we're on to the third meal template, which is around snacks. Now, most of us, when we are snacking, we're usually reaching for a carby snack. This could be something like crackers, it could be chips, the usual stuff that you find in a grocery store. But if you want to stay on track towards your goals much more easily, without having to do as much calorie counting or calculations, you want to replace reaching for a carby snack and instead be reaching for a protein snack. So Lucy is going to give us a list of high protein snacks that you can have handy. We're also going to put it in the description, and you can start reaching for them or be prepared with them at all times of the day.
The first thing that I recommend is to get something that's high in protein and maybe moderate in fat. So both of those things will help keep you satiated for a long period of time. So common options include some hard-boiled eggs that you can prepare the night before, some beef jerky or turkey jerky that you can find at any stores. You can also grab containers, and they have small containers of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. You can also get low-fat string cheese, which you can buy in bulk and take them with you anywhere. You can grab some edamame, which you can usually find them already deshelled in packages for you in the frozen foods section, or you can grab some hummus. And the good thing about this is that you can also have it with other healthy snacks like vegetables. And finally, protein bars from your local stores. There are a great variety of those available. The second thing I would recommend if you don't have protein sources available or you don't feel like eating protein is to go for high fiber foods. Generally, these are fruits and vegetables. So there are a variety of snackable grab-and-go vegetables available. Bell peppers, broccoli and cauliflower, cherry tomatoes, celery, cucumbers. And if you want something sweet, I highly recommend snap peas. They give you that sweet sensation as well as the crunchy type of texture that a lot of people like. And any kind of fruit is good for a grab-and-go snack because they're high in fiber and also high in water content.
All right, so we're on to the fourth meal template, which is around dinner. Now, there's no reason that you couldn't have the lunch template for dinner again. Like, if you're okay with having the same meal twice, that's totally fine. But let's say you did not have time to bulk cook 2 meals, right? You only had time to bulk cook 1 meal and you're kind of getting sick of eating it, more than once a day. So what do you do in that case? Guess what? Your local grocery store has tons of nutritious, quick, and easy packaged foods that have high protein and high nutrients compared to the amount of calories in them. Lucy is going to walk through some of our favorite high protein, highly nutritious packaged foods that we love to recommend to our clients.
When looking for packaged foods, I highly recommend looking for those that have few ingredients and nothing with too many chemicals in it. Some of my personal favorite brands are any of the Trader Joe's packaged foods. They tend to taste really good and also are full of healthy whole foods. Kashi is another good brand that creates really delicious tasting, simple to prepare foods. And Amy's Bowls have a great selection as well, and they also have great vegan and vegetarian selections. Also, you can buy just staples as well in package form. For instance, to get some proteins, you can buy frozen fish or frozen chicken and leave them in your freezer for emergencies. On those days where you didn't shop ahead of time but you need a quick protein, you can just grab one of those from the freezer and then oven roast it. Same thing for vegetables. A lot of vegetables come in frozen form, while fresh vegetables always taste the best. Sometimes when you are on a budget or you just need some vegetables around for emergencies, frozen is a good way to go.
All right, so that was 4 meal templates in which you can plug and play your favorite foods to create a variety of recipes, not get bored. They're all active cooking time, 5 to 10 minutes, and they all take 5 ingredients or less. I'm curious to hear if you have meal templates that you're really excited about. Put them in the comments below. I'm curious to see what they are. And if you want more content like this or more help from us, we've created a short quiz that you can take, and it's going to be in the description. And at the end of the quiz, we'll know what are your barriers right now, what are you looking for, and we'll see if we can help you. So go ahead in the description and take that quiz now. All right, until next time.